Journey to the West, an audio drama series. Chapter 33, Part 1. At this time we speak of how great King Silverhorn brought Bajie into his cave. He called out, "Oh, big brother, we've brought one home." The elder monster happily replied, "Come over and let me have a look." The younger monster said, "Isn't this the one?" The elder monster said, "Brother, you've got the wrong one. This monk is useless." Bajie took the hint and said, "Great king, if this is a useless monk, might as well just set him free. Don't be inappropriate." The younger monster said, "Big brother, don't release him. Even if he is useless, he's still with the Tang monk. He's called Zhu Bajie. Soak him in the clear water pool at the back for now. Once his bristles come off, we'll salt him down and dry his meat to go with wine on rainy days." Bajie heard that and lamented, "What terrible luck! I bumped into a monster who sells pickled food." The imps then carried Bajie inside and threw him into the pool. We will speak no more of that. We instead go to Sanzang, who was sitting before the slope. Ears heating up and eyelids twitching, his entire body felt uneasy. So he called, "Wukong, why is it that Wuneng is taking so long patrolling the mountain and hasn't returned?" Xingzhe answered, "Master, you have no idea what is on his mind." Sanzang asked, "What is on his mind?" Xingzhe explained, "Oh, master, if there were a monster in this mountain, he can't even take half a step around and would run right into it. He would certainly exaggerate the matter and run back to report to me. I guess there is no monster and the road is peaceful, so he just went straight ahead." Sanzang asked, "If he really went straight ahead, where shall we meet up? It's the middle of a wide wilderness here. There's nothing like what you can find between shops and city landscapes." Xingzhe said, "Don't you worry, master. Mount the horse, please. The fool is quite lazy, so he must be moving slowly. Hurry your horse forward, and we are certain to catch up to him. Let's head out together." And so the Tang monk did mount the horse, while Sha monk carried the luggage. With Xingzhe leading ahead, they found their way up the mountain. We go back to the elder monster, who again said to the younger monster, "Brother, since you've got Bajie, Tang monk must be around. Patrol the mountain again and don't you let him pass." The younger monster said, I'm going right now." Look at them quickly selecting 50 imps before heading into the mountain for patrolling. As they were on their way, they noticed suspicious clouds floating and luminous mist hovering above. The younger monster said, "The Tang monk is here." The many imps asked, "Where is the Tang monk?" The younger monster said, "Above a good man's head, there are glowing clouds of auspiciousness. Above an evil man's head, there is only dark gas shooting up the skies. That Tang monk is Elder Golden Cicada descending upon the mortal world. He's a good man through 10 lifetimes of cultivation. That's why there are auspicious clouds surrounding him." None of the imps could see it, so the younger monster pointed with his finger, asking, "Isn't that him?" Instantly, Sanzang shivered on the horse. He pointed again, and Sanzang shivered again. He pointed 3 times in total, so there were 3 shivers in total. Thoroughly disturbed, Sanzang asked, "Oh, disciples, why am I shivering?" Sha monk said, "If you are shivering, it must be a symptom of indigestion." Xingzhe said, "Nonsense! Master is going through deep mountains and rugged ridges. It must be that his sensitive mind is fearful over nothing. Worry not, worry not. Allow Elder Sun to use the rod to clear the path so your fears can be eased." Splendid, Xingzhe. He whipped out his rod, threw out several tricks before the horse, up and down, left and right, his magical powers aligned with every strategy in the books. The elder watched from the horse. It really was a rare sight in the universe, and never before seen in this world. With the road opened up, they continued forward. The monster, on the other hand, was so scared he almost dropped. Witnessing from the top of the mountain, his soul left himself as he said with what little was left of his voice, "For several years I've heard rumors about Sun Xingzhe. Only now do I know that the rumors are all true." The imps gathered around him to ask, "Great king, why boost someone else's morale and diminish your own aura? Why are you even praising him?" The younger monster answered, "Sun Xingzhe is immensely powerful. We cannot eat the Tang monk." The imps asked, Great King, if you're out of depths, just wait till you send a few of us to report to the elder Great King. Let him deploy the soldiers of our cave and put out the formations. If we unite as one, why should you even fear where they will go?" The younger monster said, "You simply did not see his iron rod. That thing has got enough might to conquer 10,000 men. All we have in the cave are 400 to 500 soldiers. How could we withstand that thing?" The imp said, "If that's the case and we can't eat the Tang monk, aren't we making a mistake by taking Zhu Bajie? Let's send him back instead." The younger monster said, "We didn't take him by mistake, and we won't be sending him back easily. The Tang monk will ultimately be our meal, but it can't happen yet." The imps asked, "If that's what you're saying, do we have to wait a few more years?" The younger monster said, "Won't be that long. From what I can see from that Tang monk, we shall only lure him with goodwill, but not snatch him with violence. If we attempt to take him by force, then we won't be able to even smell him. We have to move him with goodwill, earn his trust, so that his heart aligns with mine. And then from within the goodwill comes a trick. That's when we can make our attempt." The imps asked, "If Great King is using a trick to take him, is there a use for us?" The younger monster said, "You shall all return to your home camps, but do not report to the elder Great King. If he's alerted, the news will certainly leak and ruin my plan. I've got my own magic and transformations to capture him with." The imps thereby dispersed, leaving him to jump off the mountain alone. Somewhere in the west, he shook his body and transformed into an elderly Taoist. How was he dressed? Look at him. A shining cap on top of puffy hair. He had a robe made from feathers and shoes decorated with cloudy patterns. High-spirited and bright-eyed like an immortal, healthy and light was his body, just like a man enjoying longevity. The false image appeared like genuine image, presenting a fake story as if it were true. By the roadside, he pretended to be a Taoist who broke his legs. With blood on his feet and whimpers in his mouth, he shouted, "Help! Help me!" We now go to Sanzang, who, with the help of great sage Sun and Sha monk, headed happily forward. As they were walking, they could hear someone call out, "Master, save me!" Sanzang heard that and said, Goodness, in this mountain wilderness with no village or cottage around, who is calling? It must be someone frightened by tigers, leopards, wolves, and the likes." And so the elder turned the fine horse around and called, "Who is in trouble? Are you able to come out?" The monster then crawled out from the grass and started kowtowing loudly in front of the elder's horse. Sanzang saw from the back of the horse that he was a Taoist of advanced age. Feeling rather sorry, he dismounted the horse to help the man up, saying, "Please get up, please do." The monster said, "It hurts. Letting him go, Sanzang saw that his legs were bleeding, so he asked in astonishment, "Dear sir, where are you from? What caused the injury on your precious feet?" With flowery words and faint emotions, the monster answered, "Oh, master, to the west of this mountain there is a tranquil Taoist temple. I am a Taoist in that temple." Sanzang asked, "Why are you not serving incense or practicing scriptures in your temple, but instead casually walking here?" The monster answered, "It was all because of a benefactor who lives on the south side of the mountain. Taoists were invited to perform a service protecting them from the stars of misfortune and distributing blessings. It ran rather late, and the two of us, myself and my disciple, returned on foot. We were at a deep crossroad when suddenly a ferocious striped tiger appeared and dragged my disciple away in its mouth. Terrified, this humble Taoist ran for my life before tripping down a rocky slope and injuring my legs and feet, enabling me to make my way back. Heavenly destiny has fallen upon me today now that I met you, Master. I beg, Master, have mercy and save my life. If you can take me back to the temple, even if I must sell myself to be your laborer, I will make sure to thank your deep favor with heavy rewards." Sanzang heard his words and took them for the truth, so he said, "Oh dear sir, you and I are people of the same destiny. I am a monk, and you're a Taoist. Our clothing and hats may differ, but the principles of cultivation are the same. If I don't save you, then I am not a person who left the family. I would like to help you out, but you can't walk, can you?" The monster answered, "I can't even stand up. How am I to walk?" Sanzang said, Never mind. I can walk on the road. I will let you ride on the horse. Once you have made it to the temple, just give the horse back to me." The monster said, "Master, I thank you deeply for the love and care, but my legs are injured. I cannot ride on a horse." Sanzang said, "That's true." So he said to Sha Monk, "Put your luggage on my horse. You shall carry him for the journey." Sha Monk said, "Let me carry him then." The monster quickly turned around to glance at him before saying, "Oh, master, I am terrified of that ferocious tiger. Seeing this master with his gloomy complexions just added to my fright. I dare not have him carry me." Sanzang therefore said, "Wukong, you can carry him then." Xingzhou replied, "I will carry him. I will." The monster made certain it was Xingzhou, so he agreed to let him do the carrying without uttering another word. Sha Monk laughed and said, "The old Taoist has no eyesight. Won't let me carry him, but instead asked for him. When master is out of his sight, he will throw you off and smash even your tendons on a sharp rock." Xingzhou heard that and chuckled. "You insolent monster, how dare you mess with me? Did you bother to ask how long Elderson has lived? Those ridiculous words of yours can only deceive the tongue monk. How can they deceive me? I know you're a monster of this mountain and you want to eat my master. My master is no ordinary man and certainly not food for you. Even if you wish to eat him, you would have to share half of the meal with Elder Sun." The monster heard what Xingzhou was chanting in his mouth, so he said, "Master, I am the child of a good family who became a Taoist. I was unfortunate today to have met an ordeal of tigers and wolves. I am no monster." Xingzhou retorted, "If you fear tigers and wolves, why not recite the Northern Dipper scripture?" Sanzang was mounting the horse when he heard this, so he scolded, "You insolent monkey! Saving a man's life is a greater accomplishment than building a 7-story pagoda. If you agree to carrying him, just do the carrying. Why mention things like the Northern Dipper scripture or Southern Dipper scripture?" Xingzhou heard that and said, "What great luck you've got! That master of mine is a man of mercy and compassion, but he's harder to get along with than he appears. If I refuse to carry you, he will blame me for it. I can carry you all right, but I must make things clear with you. If you need to relieve yourself, tell me first. If anything pulls down my spine, the incredible stink is one thing, but my clothes will get dirty with no one to wash them." The monster replied, "I'm old enough to understand that." Only then did Xingzhou pull him up and carry him on his back. Along with the elder and Sha Monk, they headed west on the main road. When they reached somewhere uneven, Xingzhou slowed down to walk more cautiously and let the tongue monk move ahead. They had barely walked for 3 to 5 li when the master and Sha Monk went ahead down the hollow of the mountain where Xingzhou could no longer see them. He secretly complained, "Master has grown to this age without understanding common sense. To travel this far, even if you have nothing to carry, you still wish your hands weighed less. I'll much rather throw this thing off, yet you have me carrying a monster on my back. Speak not of the fact that this is a monster. Even if he were a good man, having reached this age, it's about time he'd die anyway. I'll just throw him to his death. What's the point of carrying him?" The great sage was thinking about throwing the monster off when the monster was well aware of his intentions. Capable of deploying mountains, he then used a magic trick called moving mountains and overturning seas. Reciting the spell on Xingzhou's back, he invoked the true words and deployed the Sumalu mountain in the air before throwing it on Xingzhou's head. The great sage hastily moved his head away so it landed on his left shoulder instead. Smiling, he said, "My child, what trick allows you to put all this weight onto Elderson? Nothing to fear, however. The only problem is that a balanced pole is easier to carry than a lopsided pole." The monster exclaimed, "One mountain is not enough to press him in place. So he recited the spell again and deployed Emei Mountain in the air for the attack. Xingzhe once again bent his head to let the mountain land on his right shoulder. Look at him, with 2 mountains on his shoulders, as he ran like a meteor to catch up to his master. The monster saw this and became so frightened he was soaked in sweat, as if his entire body was salivating, saying, "He really can carry mountains on his shoulders." Pouring out his emotions, he invoked the true words again and had Mount Tai deployed in the air before throwing it down on Xingzhe's head. The great sage was out of strength as his tendons grew numb. Having Mount Tai drop on his head, the spirits in him were shocked to the core as blood spurted from his 7 orifices. Splendid monster! He used magic tricks to press Xingzhe down before swiftly riding the wind to catch up to Tang Sanzang. Reaching down from the clouds, he was going to grab the man on the horse. Panicking, Shamak threw away the luggage and raised his monster-quelling staff to directly hold him off. The monster wielded a 7-star sword to fight him face to face. What a fine battle! The weapons shone 10,000 beams of golden light. The monster was showing off his powers, while the other would rather die than have the true monk taken. Puffing cloud and dust, they fought till the sun lost its glow and the universe grew dusky. 8 or 9 rounds they went back and forth when Shamak was unexpectedly defeated. The monster was rather ferocious with that decorated sword of his. His tricks rolled forward like shooting stars. Shamak was too weak to hold off the attacks, so he turned around to escape. But the monster had already held his treasure staff aside before bringing forward a giant hand to seize Shamak. With Shamak tucked under his left arm, the monster used his right hand to take Sanzang from the horse. He hooked the luggage onto the tip of his feet and tugged on the horse's mane with his open mouth. Wielding magic powers, he swept them all back to the lotus flower cave in a gust of wind. He shouted with a loud voice, "Big brother, I brought all the monks back." The elder monster heard that and was overjoyed, replying, "Bring them over for me to see." The younger monster said, "Aren't they right here?" The elder monster said, "My wise young brother, you brought the wrong ones again." The younger monster said, "You told me to get the tongue monk." The elder monster said, "I did say get the tongue monk, but we haven't Sun Xingzhe, the one with powers. We've got to capture him before we can enjoy the tongue monk. Otherwise, we must not touch his people. That monkey king has immense powers and can transform into all sorts of things. If we ate his master, how could he take his sitting down? He will come make a scene outside our doors, and we will never hear the end of it." The younger monster laughed and said, "Oh, big brother, you are overrating him. If he's really as good as your compliments, he should be someone rarely found in heaven and never seen on earth. But from what I'd observed, he is only capable of so much. There is nothing impressive about his tricks." The elder monster asked, "Did you catch him?" The younger monster answered, "I have deployed 3 great mountains to press him down. He was not able to move a bit. That's why I was able to sweep up the tongue monk, Shamak, and bring their horse and luggage home." The elder monster heard it, and his heart was filled with delight, saying, "What blessing, what blessing! Only when we have that creature in the bag can the tongue monk become food for our mouths." He then called some imps over, telling them, "Quickly bring over wine. I shall serve a cup to your second great king to celebrate his merit." The younger monster said, "Big brother, let's not drink wine yet. Tell the little ones to take Zhu Bajie out of the water and hang him up instead." And so they hung Bajie up at the east corridor. Shamak was hung at the west, while the tongue monk was at the center. The white horse was sent to the trough, and the luggage put away inside. The elder monster laughed and said, "My wise young brother has such impressive skills. 2 attempts brought back 3 monks. Sun Xingzhe may be pressed beneath mountains, but we still have to think of a way to bring him along to be steamed together for food." The younger monster said, "Elder brother, please have a seat. If we are to capture Sun Xingzhe, there is no need for us to make the trip. All we have to do is instruct 2 imps to bring 2 treasures where he can be put inside and brought back." The elder monster asked, "What treasures should they bring?" The younger monster answered, "Take my 紫金红葫芦, red gourd of purple gold, and your 羊脂玉净瓶, immaculate vase of mutton fat jade." The elder monster brought his treasure out before asking, "Which 2 are you sending?" the younger monster answered. Let 金细鬼and 灵力虫 go. Here, 金细鬼 literally means shrewd ghost, and 灵力虫 can be interpreted as shifty bug. The younger monster went on and ordered, You two shall take the treasures and head straight up to the top of the high mountains. Hold them bottom side up, facing the sky, with the openings pointing at the ground. Call out 孙行者 once. If he answers to your call, he will be captured inside. Afterwards, stick a seal with the following spell. 太上老君急急如律令奉敕. Within a few 时辰, he will dissolve into pus. Here, 太上老君急急如律令奉敕 is a common Taoist spell instructing supernatural forces to act as they are told. 太上老君 refers to the supreme and venerable elder, in other words, the founder of Taoism. 急急如律令奉敕 is formal language used by government officials, meaning, this is an urgent matter, please do as the order tells you. So this spell quite literally means, in the name of the supreme and venerable elder, promptly act as you are solemnly ordered. The two imps thereby kowtowed and took the treasures away with them to capture 行者. We will speak no more of that.